Agada.
Mbijan raganya.
Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la.
Ha, code nyingi.
Okay. What's that? Nsila ID soto.
Sa soto. Sorry. Agada.
Mbijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariaka.
Mbare.
Mo ki janna nun kono bara tariaka.
Jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbari ya bere. Birim koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato ni fo bolong labe to.
56 branches mola soto Gambia jam.
Ha?
Gambia kono ani Gambia bantala bankol. Nko kodo kiya bere to. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta même na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw. Jannom number 1 ti nyonta. Andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale. Wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi man domorol dir fana beteata. Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je.
Wo moyo diat.
Apelenta
baraka. Ni ma lafta nyelan kendol e bina.
Yalo bukani la ko la baraka ba.
Yalo ndel chosano lo.
Baraka.
Gamcell data, now even better. Enjoy 20% extra data on all Gamcell data bundles. Buy 20 megabytes and get extra 4 megabytes. Buy 50 megabytes and get extra 10 megabytes. Buy 100 megabytes and get extra 20 megabytes. Any amount of Gamcell data bundle you buy, you will receive 20% extra data for free. Dial *302* data amount hash or go to your Yaiborom menu and choose your data bundle now. Gamcell data is fast, lasts longer and very reliable. Gamcell Yaiborom.
Alright.
Honey, did you remind him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But don't you know about Baluwo?
Baluwo? What is Baluwo?
Baluwo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baluwo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baluwo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baluwo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria or Mali. Baluwo, better than sending money.
For the first time in the history of the Gambia Printing Publishing Corporation proudly introduces the Biliomatic exercise book printing machine. The machine has the capacity to print more than 20,000 books per hour. Yes, 20,000 books per hour. It also prints magazines, newspapers, calendars, flyers, normal books and all kinds of printed documents plus items at affordable prices. With the Biliomatic printing machine, GPPC can now render high quality and non-size restricted printing service supply across the sub-region. Rush now and partner with GPPC for all your public and private printing service needs. Print with us today and you'd be offered highly professional, reliable and efficient service delivery by our team of experts. The Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation is here to meet all demands and is reliable at all times. For more info, contact us on 437-4493 or 437-4402. GPPC is Gambian and it's yours.
And welcome to our weekly current affairs program that comes your way this time on this platform. This week we're talking sports and to be specific, football. On August the 27th, football stakeholders will go to the polls in the national elections of the Gambia Football Federation to elect a president and an executive for the next 4 years. Incumbent Lamin Kabba wants another term after serving 2 previously. His fellow executive member and protege, if you want, in the committee, Sadibu Kamaso, wants to challenge him in that elections. Both have formally launched their campaign, their executive, and we will be having them here in turn. This week, we start with the Team Kabba campaign and supporters in the membership of the GFF. So I'm pleased to introduce in the studio today, on the far right, Honorable Abdoulie Ceesay. He's a National Assembly member, but today is not politics. He's also involved in sports, particularly football, because he's the president of second division club PSB Wellingara, well known actually in the league and in the football family. Thank you. Welcome, Honorable.
Thank you so much, Lamin. Thank you.
Kebba Jespa Touray is coach and he's a member of the campaign team of the Team Kabba. He is a football man, true and true. Welcome, Kebba.
Thank you, Lamin.
Good.
Good afternoon, viewers.
Good. And then I have next to me John Frank Mendy. He is the chairman of the head of the Gambia Referees Association, the president if you like, or chairman, but he's the head. Now the Gambia Referees Association is one among 5 allied associations who are members of the Gambia Football Federation with voting rights. So he is a very important entity of the Gambia Football Federation. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Lamin, and good afternoon to all viewers.
Good. I guess all of you, of course, here subscribe to the Kabba campaign. So I will start with the Honorable Abdoulie Ceesay, President of the PSV Wellingara Second Division team. Mr. Ceesay, let me begin by asking you, what is your general conviction that Team Kabba, as Kebba Bajo's presidency over the last 7 years or so, is what Gambians need to continue in order for our football, as they themselves call it, to be sustained in terms of all the developments that have been achieved? And then I would like to know, of course, as PSB Wellingara, how did your team, as an individual entity, benefited from this development?
Thank you so much, Lamin, and thank you to the viewers on Kerr Fatou at this moment. We're talking about sports. First, let me first attend to your question with regards to Team Kebba Bajo.
Yeah.
Having been in office for almost 7 or 8 years now, administering Gambian football. My general perspective is, since Kabba came into power, we've seen football moving into the right direction. And when I say moving to the right direction, is Gambia have been yearning to qualify for the African Cup of Nations so many years. And after 7 years or 6 years, we've seen Gambia qualify to African Cup of Nations. And I think that is an achievement for Gambia. And of course, an achievement for Team Kabba as well in the administration. We're also talking about club support. When FIFA supported GFA to administer football in the Gambia, clubs in the first and second division, you realize that the administration of Kabba will support all these clubs in terms of finance to be able to take up their football teams to another level. These things have been happening quite a number of times, and then personally I know my team have benefited from that in so many occasions. We're talking about Team Kabba. In general, Gambian football, we all understand that before Kabba came into power, first division was about 12 teams. It has been extended to 16 teams. Second division was almost 14. It has been extended to 18 teams. And I think if you look at the qualification model from all this level, let's say third division to second division has been, rebranded under Kabba's administration. And I think this is good for Gambian football. At least we are moving in the right direction. The other one is my own perspective as far as my team is concerned. I think PSV Wellingara have qualified for the first time in the second division from third division. We moved to first division and relegated to second division. And all these things happen under Kabba's administration. And then when they qualified first division, I know I was still the co-founder of the team, but I was busy, not part of sports. But later I came in when they dropped to second division. So a lot of things between the PSV Football Club and Team Kabba, we have a lot of things together in common. Kabba-led administration supported all teams, including my team as well. So generally, my perspective is, after 6 years, with all the things that we've achieved, I think it's important for us to give Team Kabba another chance to be able to take Gambia to that next level, at least for another 4 years before we can get into another thing. Thank you.
Okay, talking about the leagues and clubs, Team Kabba, in your perspective, might have done well. But what do you make of critics who said, with the funds available to them in terms of FIFA forward programs, they could have done more for the clubs than they're actually doing? For example, the Kamaso campaign, the opposition said they're going to give the clubs more money from the monies that they get. They're going to plow back in a bigger way than Kabba is doing. For example, they said they don't mind giving 1.7 million or something as price for winning the league and coming down onwards, etc. So, don't you think they have a valid point in that? The club should have more money from the FA.
Actually, that is very true. I mean,
you would be happy if PSV is subvented with, apart from the free registration, of course, they subvented with $1 million or so, or 250,000.
I'll just say this, because as team presidents, as clubs, as stakeholders in football, probably GFF will not come just like that and say, this is what we wanted to do. All these things are brought in front of us at our, annual AGMs. We can discuss about them and then talk to GFF about these issues. But people, I don't mind the critics, because the critic will always say things that suits them. But also, if you talk to somebody who will defend himself, will also tell you exactly how he thinks it should work. But for me, I think it's important if we have that, but we can always talk about that, and I know Team Kabba is ready to do that as well. Now
let's go to, let me jump to the campaign. He's in the camp, deep in the campaign, so he will attack the general questions. Let's go now to John Frank Mendy, head of the Gambia Referees Association. That's an allied association, an integral member of the FA. How many votes do you have now? Three votes. So 5 of you, 15 votes easily. So if Kabba or Kamaso can get 5 of your allied associations, that's 15 votes outright. But your votes, from the look of things, might be going to Kabba, isn't it? Tell me why. Why do you think Kabba, what has it done specifically for the development of referees and refereeing that you think he is the one who should go? Of course we know about the Papa Gasamas and so many other things, but tell us specifically, what are the strengths that Gambian refereeing has got on the Kabba?
Thank you very much, Lamin. Good afternoon to all the viewers, wherever you're listening or viewing us from. I'm very happy today to sit here and enumerate or tell you for the past 7 years what the Kabba team has done for refereeing. We started in 2014, where I was, appointed into the refereeing committee.
That's in 2014?
2014,
when
yes.
they came to
when
power.
They came to power.
A little.
And then by then I even left football due to certain things I can't discuss in the studio. But they brought me back, and when I came back, I was in the refereeing committee, and development started from there up to today. Let's start. In 2015, for the first time, we had instructors. We sent.
Let me have some water. I can say that on air, no problem.
We had 3 instructors, young Gambians, sent to Tanzania to do instruction course for referees. And as we are speaking now, we have 5 instructors, 3 technical and 2 unprecedented Gambian.
That has never happened.
That has never happened. That is one. In terms of capacity building for referees, every year we normally have this MA courses, which is called Member Association course. And Gambia has never. Some countries, they do jump them, but Gambia, since Kabba came 2014, we have been having the MA courses. And from 2014 to now, the Kabba-led team has trained more than 100 referees.
Gambian referees,
allied referees.
From the grassroots.
That's just for the allied referees. Then we come to the regions. They have decentralized the refereeing aspect of the game, which was like in the previous years, all the matches in the provinces were refereed by people from here.
People need to go.
But now we've trained almost 300, referees in the Gambia. And that's also another plus we can add to the feathers of Kabba. You talk about
for the first time in Gambia now, over 15 or 20 years, we've never got a referee, international referee assessor.
Yes.
So
referee assessor.
Referee assessor, where you go and
somebody who will assess the referee's performance.
Assess the referees, right to FIFA and right to CAF.
Right. Okay.
So a year ago, I was appointed the first Gambian to be a referee assessor, and I've assessed FIFA referees. I am the one who assessed Senegal, Togo. In Togo,
okay.
I was the referee assessor for Moroccan referees.
Okay.
So I'm also an international instructor, local instructor, but very soon,
you will go international.
Yeah, I'll go international and start training referees outside. Talking about the other aspect, which is in terms of material development.
Yeah.
This year you see the branding. Before even CAF came up, we've got jerseys that, were sponsored. Kudos to Saudi. We say thank you to Saudi Football Federation. Through the negotiation of Kabba, we got new brand.
Yeah, I mean
referee's jersey, where we branded the referees' names. Those days the referee will play and you will start to think, who is this?
Who is the referee?
But now we tag their names behind.
You know now.
And we've got new brand kits from US direct, over 80 track and shoots, over 80 shorts and 4 different colors.
Wow.
And that has changed this perspective. For now, I think everybody knows refereeing.
Refereeing has developed.
Even
referees are proud now to be.
We're talking about in the next, the continuity, which is the question you ask him. We need to allow Kabba to continue, because now we are talking about equipping the referees with the new gadgets, and we are thinking of even moving to VAR. I know it will be difficult, but within the 4 years, if we professionalize our league, we need to. And he has started a job. Let's allow him to continue. That is development. We need stability and we need continuity. So in terms of refereeing, a lot has been achieved.
How many of our referees are now FIFA and badged and other things?
Yeah, we have 16.
16.
We have 4 females and then 12 males. Like, if you want to categorize them, we have 7 plus 2. We have 9 assistants and then 7 referees. And you know, Papa, it's an open secret that he's still the #1 referee in Africa. With all people are saying, he has been nominated to be in the FIFA,
in the World Cup
in Qatar 2022.
Yeah.
And this is the 3rd time he's going to the World Cup. And through Kabba's, even the referee's appointments, since Kabba came, there is no single year. Like last year, we have you're talking about 20 appointments, unprecedented. If you cumulate, add the female and the male appointments for the first time. There are years before 2014, we sit for the whole year. We will have only 1 or 2 appointments. But with Kabba's influence,
when you say appointments, I mean appointed to FIFA.
Currently, we are talking about the Chan. Our referees will be leaving on Monday to Chan to referee.
Qualifiers.
Qualifiers in Chan. So it means Kabba's team have done, great, development in terms of refereeing.
What about referees' welfare? I mean, sometimes you hear that referees are not happy.
I was moving to that.
They are complaining about
that. I think sometimes, in every setup, even the Prophets, where they had people who didn't like them in their,
but then
I'm talking about that. I said some might be disgruntled, but in the generality of everything, referees' welfare has been developed, has been doubled. There was a time before 2014, there was 2 or 3 leagues we played and we were not paid. Kabba met
referees. Was before Kabba?
Yeah, before Kabba.
Okay.
Kabba met referees were paid $50. Sorry, $150
a match.
A match.
Even that is too small.
I'm telling you. Now he moved it to $500. Okay. Now we're talking about $1,000
a match.
And next year, a match per referee. From 150 within.
But that is only the league, or it goes to the Nawetans and all?
Yeah, the Nawetans is a special price that we've also because that also we know.
Can't your association made a general flat rate? Like, don't you have that influence under the GFF, or ask them for that mandate to be able to impose rates for referees across the board? Or maybe if they are going to be, the more elite the league or the competition, the more money.
Yeah, that's it. If you look at it, referees welfare, you don't even you don't only talk about the monetary aspect. You talk about the training, because if you build somebody's capacity, it means you train him to go international and play FIFA and CAF matches and earn more money.
And more money, of course.
And that is where our focus is. Though here also the referees who are local,
they need to live a living.
Yeah, and you look at the disparity, as I said.
Yeah.
Look at the gap from $150 now to $1,000 in 7 years.
Yeah.
That's a milestone achievement.
But
now,
then the Kabba regime always proud themselves of what they have done for the referees. Okay, granted, you talk about development, capacity building, but then there's still an argument that more money should go to the pockets of the referee, because they have some may not even be gainfully employed.
Oh yeah, and that's it. Now, if you play 4 matches, and 1 week you have 2 matches, another week you have 2 matches, count that for a month. You're talking about 15,000, 20,000.
So generally, it's safe to say that referees who really officiate in the league,
yes,
in the leagues, the 2 leagues, GFF,
in
first
average,
and second division,
in average,
a
15,000. Is that not somebody's salary?
In a month?
Yeah, in a month. If you let's say $1,000
all right,
by 8 matches.
That's $8,000.
That's $8,000.
Okay, all right. In a month, if they
in a month, and you can get 10 of 12 matches, because you can be the referee here. The next match you are the 4th referee. If you have $8,000 in Gambian context or in Gambian, standard,
you don't have you don't have mobility. For example, a coach that you will say is the Gambia referees coach, like a referee's boss, coach. I mean the boss.
Yeah, we are moving.
Transportation.
We are moving to that direction.
Don't you think the funds all the funds that come to the GFF, they could think about?
No, it's important.
Okay, this is a vehicle for our referees, so that when they are going to matches in Basori and other places, the boss can take them, so they don't have to spend that 1,000 transporting themselves.
That's good. That's a good one. And with time, I think these are things we need to also look at on the other.
What did Team Kabba say they will do about that when they'll win?
I'm sure, because this is the first time I'll be in the executive.
Okay.
And it's a good, suggestion you are putting. You're
yes,
also helping us
because you are
in another side. Because this also is,
well, I know some of the issues.
Because what happens is, even if everything goes well, and I think the Team Kabba is thinking about, every team should have a boss that should transport you, rather than if you have a match you start struggling to get transport, the delays and the logistic problems you have. These are teething things we need to, but every development starts with something. He has started this, and these are points we will really gather and then move on, because we already has that push. It's just like running a relay. Somebody is giving you a baton. You are on the spot waiting.
Yes.
So we are waiting, and the movement is on, and with journalists and all these things, these are things we need people to bring out, and then we will use them as points to strategize and move forward.
Fantastic.
For better football in Gambia.
Thank you, John. Kebba Jespa Touray, you are in the campaign team. Let me begin by telling you, I don't mind telling you that the Kamaso campaign said everything you can do or have done, they can do it better, twice better or 3 times. I mean, that is what they say. If you talk about capacity building, they said they have more plans, and they will put more money into it than the Kabba team have ever done. You talk about professionalism, they said, well, they are the ones meant for the future generation. They are the ones who want to modernize Gambian football. You talk about achievement in Nations Cup, they said our target is the World Cup. We could have done more. Now, you are the campaign team. Let me hear from you now. Why do you think the Kabba campaign team is by far better in terms of achievement, ideas, and even competence ahead of the Kamaso, the challengers?
Thank you, Lamin. Good afternoon to listeners out there. Proud to be part of the panel. As you said earlier on, we are in the midst of politics. Sadibu was part of the team, and most of the things we'll be talking here today, he has spoken about it.
Himself, yes.
Yeah, 4 years ago. Capacity building, you will talk of, there's a program being set towards the end.
Yeah.
Going to the World Cup is one of the targets. We've achieved, as John said, this is step by step. We said 2021 by all costs, Gambia will play Cup of Nations, and the dream has come true. So 2024, 2025, that's the World Cup target we're working on. This is what we got. So there are plans in place to make sure everything is in line. Again, coming to doing more or getting to do more than us, we are already in it. And you know, development goes with stability, as he said. That's the main part of it, why I'm more encouraged to be part of the setup, especially the campaign team. In football, you want development, it has to be stability and continuity. Continuity. 14 years ago, or 10 years ago, how many federations have we changed?
In the world, you mean?
I mean, in the Gambia.
In the Gambia. Okay,
we've been struggling in administration.
We had problems
in administration here and there, and people are making people to believe that there is a. I don't want to go out of context, but at the end of the day, after 8 years of stability in our football, we've seen massive increment of everything happening. He just spoke about the club support. That was the first time it happened. Increments are there. I could tell you when the price of the league price was at $300,000. It was $100,000. He moved to $300,000. So gradually, from the last AGM, we ran from the first VP, that's the financial department. That gradually, in years to come, we will hit in
Kabba said he would step and make it 1.7 million.
That was a statement made at the last AGM.
When he's elected, he's going to do it. 1.7 million.
Yeah,
right away.
But this was a word being spoken at the last AGM that will be hitting $1 million or more come seasons to come. The more the O2 fund, the funds increase from FIFA, the more clubs beneficiaries will come.
People said there's a lot of disproportionate. It is not. I mean, the disparity is too much. The proportionately the money that the Gambia get, in terms of FIFA assistance, whether in terms of projects like infrastructure, capacity, or operations of the cost, and the money that's plowed back is quite not. It's disproportionate, not commensurate with what you get. What they get.
I think the truth has not been told to the public. The matter of the fact is, Gambia FF solely depend on FIFA money.
Most of it.
And they want to push all their programs goes.
Yeah.
We want all our categories to play football internationally.
Okay.
You know how much it costs.
Even that is a condition to get more funding.
More funding. Yes. But it's solely and wholly sponsored by the National Federation.
Okay.
Which shouldn't have been. Government we know of recent, that kudos to the minister, that's Baji Bakari. Yeah. Recently we've seen involvement of government coming at national level. But not
national
all
team level.
National team level, that's the senior team level.
Yeah.
But we still have the under 20. We still have the under 17 that were performing the last time. We had the chance this year coming in. There are coaches, there are staffs attached to those teams. Who are funding them? You talk of football funding. He's a team president. You know what it takes to move a team? Moreover, to airlift a national team. We've heard from former executive members of the national team. At a certain point in time, they have to put their own properties at stake to see the nation play football.
Yes, as collaterals to get loans.
We had Kabba saying the same thing. So what we say now?
But that cannot be said now, especially the national team is concerned, because the government
it's not just in
$200 million.
It's not just the national team. It's not just the national team. Airlifting, match bonuses, those are solely responsibility of the. But do you know who is paying the coach? And coaches in those various categories of the national team.
Are all paid by the GFL?
Of course, yes. Of course, yes.
Okay.
That's the under 20 male and female, but that's
from Paul put down.
Paul
sorry about Paul put down.
Paul cannot be eradicated from our history.
Oh, Paul,
definitely wherever he is, kudos to him, and at least
from Tom right now.
Tom partly of now, as I said, government involvement has came to the senior national team, but not fully packaged. But I know the match bonuses and the rest are still the responsibility of government, and they've been doing very good. Recently, I told you, that's why I said kudos to Bakari Baji. But that's not the only national team. We had our under 20, which has been a glory for us last year. they've been the WAFO champions. They've been to the African under 20 championship. They won the bronze. They were supposed to go to the World Cup. Unfortunately, due to the epidemic, they couldn't. The tournament doesn't hold. And preparation is starting again for Mauritania for the same WAFO qualifiers for the African Championship, which might end up to be a World Cup qualifier. And these are all national teams that have been solely funded by the federation. You come in again. The Jan team is currently in Morocco, preparing to play this afternoon. Good luck to them, Alaji and the technical team together with the boys. We are behind them, praying for them to get the qualifiers. Remember, they will play today and play on the 26th.
It shouldn't be a problem over Guinea-Bissau.
Yeah, but football has gone to another level. Remember, Bissau has been doing very well in the past years. They've been to the AFCON twice before us, and they've repeated it again and again. Cham, football expenditure is far beyond expectations. We all understand financially what happened. Embezzlement will be said everywhere, but I cannot be convinced, because this is what I said. From 10 years ago, we've been changing associations on the name of corruption, on the name of embezzlement, but still cheating. This has been happening now. Why not? We had a better platform, a national forum for our stakeholders. Let's come together. This is a family union. This football is here to be run. After elections, we are all back in the system. Remember, footballing family is too narrow. These are the same people. Look at it. 77 votes are to be casted.
Yeah.
To represent 1 or 2 point something million.
Yes, that's why it's clearly important.
So this is a tight family.
What do you make of problems like you make allegations, criticisms over the handling of infrastructure projects? I mean, you would agree the GFF themselves admitted and apologized. There have not been Navetans for 2 consecutive years. One was to COVID, the other one was due to the unavailability of grounds.
That's an open secret.
Even we all apologize for that.
Yeah, that's an open secret.
So
ambitions were high. I could remember because I've been lucky to be part of the last 7-8 years AGMs. Yeah, being my club, being the association. So this, when it was first thrown, I was one of the guys who contributed that. Why not we take 2 at a time? A region at a time, or like Banjul, 2 or 3 projects at a time. But the matter of fact was, money was available, they believe, so the ambitions were high.
So they spread their
exactly
all over.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's a point we all have to bow down to. But again, that's human nature. Iman dikiminna niyoje ake mo yawn.
So they got excited
and thinking,
said, okay, let's go and
we can do all.
They embark on big project.
Yes, we were thinking that we can do all at once. Yeah, they stuck. Again, remember, there was an epidemic that passed away 2 years ago, and again there's an administrative lapse. Some of the grounds are coming up. But we believe the promise is that there was a game there yesterday. Banjul has started using their ground on 3rd division games. Serekunda is, I think, finally. Those are the challenges, but we hope it will be done very soon, because still the federation had about 1 point something million with CAF. That is directly in dollars.
And just for learning from these problems, it will be a stepping stone to continue now, because we know where the challenges or the bottlenecks are, and then after this election, by God's grace, then we know where the teething problems are, and then they're going to be fixed.
Really?
That's assured, yes.
And Cham, again, because there have been videos, there have been criticisms going around. FIFA is there, seeing everything. You know that every message being published here is likely on the next day. So if things are not been going fine with FIFA, they are not satisfied with FIFA, you know what football goes.
Yes.
Yeah. We could have been crossed out of it, but we still have in our phone. We still can't. So which means things are fine over there. So the reality is, let's come together and put our hands on deck and hold on to see our football goes to the
Let's talk. Your specialty is coaching. How has coaching developed on the Kabba? Or critics would say, how was it How did it?
No, I don't think they've been talking much about coaching, because this is right on the platform. We've seen what achievements or what development has been happening in the coaching family.
Technical appointments of Team Kabba, for example, in terms of the national team's technical director. Until recently, they said they have not seen his involvement allowed. Some executive members took upon themselves jobs that should have been by technicians.
You would be. It's people with their perspectives. Yeah. But what is happening there? Every job have a TRO. Every job awarded. Everybody else. Like I when I came here, I found different personnels. Yes. And I've seen before we set up, everybody has done his job. Yeah. That's why this program is running smoothly. Okay. The technical director, I'm privileged to talk to anybody out there. And I don't just speak hearsay. I always speak to the direct guy concerned and to get the facts out of it. As we know, it has been a concern to everybody, which the last championship or the Cup of Nations when the Kerr was left behind. Yes. But
he was with me here in the studio when people were playing in Cameroon.
Yeah, he could have been at a better position to ask him that question.
I asked him and he said,
answer for that.
He had tried to be diplomatic. He said, "Well, I am here also, but doesn't mean that I'm not."
Yeah,
but why was he left behind? I mean, come on, in such a major competition. And you know, Sam was among the first people who said. He almost correctly predicted that we're going to qualify. He said at that time what we need is 2 victories and a break. You know, the qualifiers was stopped because of the COVID. I got him.
No, the program started.
I need only 2 victories and we will qualify. And prophetically it happened. I mean, people were surprised that he was not involved. He was reduced to the pundits over radio and television when he should have been in Cameroon.
Yeah, when not from the federation. When I spoke to him,
he was left out. It was his own choice.
Yeah, it wasn't not his own choice. I wouldn't say that. It all comes to the official responsibility of who is who. Sang from his own perspective
was that a sound decision?
He said he is director of football, technical director, responsible for all technicians. If I said technical arm of the federation, that includes even the referees. Even referee programs come through him, and coaches and the like. So specifically, he's directing our football at that younger generation, at the grassroots level. That starts from the 17 up to the.
So his job is not just
restricted
national
on that. Okay. And remember, I think we have to understand this. Sang is the one who signed this coach. You've seen they've just celebrated. I think 3 days ago. That was the
anniversary.
That was the
third anniversary of
exactly, and it was signed by Sang squad. It was Sang who signed the coach. But there is this technical and development committee at the federation, headed by the second vice president. That's a technically aborted one. So Sang is directly answerable to that technical and development committee, who is a secretary too, and the coach is directly under the same committee. So this has been a very much a very well concerned, because I even asked Ibufai about it after talking to him in private, and he was on the radio last week at the Sport File when Peter spoke to about it. That it was the decision of the coach. We all agree, and we're pushing on at our level that the team need a second assistant. Remember, Alaji Sar is the only assistant. We are kudos to him, and we are proud of him being part of us. And again, the most important part is all our national teams are headed by our own members, our own products. This include former ex-players, former coaches and ex-players of the national team. So we had a good direction we heading to. Coaching is on prospective. We had over 120 D-Lancing coaches. You don't talk of D-Lancing across the board. Of recently, we coming to conduct another two, 3 C-Lancings coming up at our regional levels, to the national D-Lancing to the national level. Already we had about 30, currently it's only 20 or so who are currently practicing the job. So we're expecting to do A by the end of the year. So there are already programs set by the technical department which are to be followed. So I think for coaching, we are on top of everything. We are rightly enjoying our privilege when it comes to the federation. And again, you see the league is running. we had a monthly award for coaches, both first and second division, male and female. Yeah, we started it some time back with $1,000. This year, with the leadership from my old president Matar, when he came, we started our mandate last December for the next 4 years. So he was the price was been increased from $1,000 to $6,000 with a coach of the month with a celebrated drink and a certificate.
And what are the criteria? The coach must have
the highest collected points. Without suspension. Without suspension. So you see, discipline is key there. And again, you have to be a member, because from certain point we struggle with some of the people, some of the coaches who are in members of the main body. So we're putting it across to everybody. You have to be a member before you enjoy whatever is going to happen.
And coaches is also an allied association of the GFF. You have 3 votes, isn't it?
Yep.
Good. An integral part of it. Would you say, in your own frank analysis, that Gambian coaches really have improved, developed, so to speak, under Kabba than before he came?
Definitely. Definitely.
Okay. Yep. Let's move on to Honorable. Honorable, PSV Wellingara, I must keep repeating that because people will say, what is this National Assembly member doing? But he's the president of the PSV Wellingara, second division team. I mean, the grievances or concerns of football clubs everywhere in the league is not just adherence to regulations, but observance of fair play, I mean, equal opportunities to all teams, in terms of access to infrastructure, access to funds, and treatment generally from the the federation rivals. How happy are you in terms of organizers? I mean, the opposition said even the competition department of the GFF is in shambles. I mean, they often, matches are rescheduled. Even rescheduled matches themselves get rescheduled sometimes. How frustrating this could be, and are these criticisms valid as far as PS Wellingara is concerned? And how can this be improved, under the Kabba regime which you support?
Actually, Lamin, I know on 2 or 3 occasions we have similar, incident that you talk about, but I know for a fact that a communication was sent to my team earlier when the game is rescheduled. One thing I think Kabba-led administration will do perhaps on that area is to. I know the competition department of the GFF is probably you don't have enough human capacity to be able to do all the job.
Okay.
But I'm very much so. When another mandate is given, I know Kabba-led team will have to increase the capacity of people working at that department, and also build the capacity of members at that area so that they can take care of all these things at a go. I know most of the teams will be frustrated. I mean, sometimes if games are rescheduled, this is not the fault of the team, or in fact the president of the GFF. Sometimes it just happened like that. The game has to be rescheduled, and then they will communicate to teams in due course. It happens to me, but communication was sent on time, and then games were rescheduled, and then we accepted it in that fate. Yeah.
So let me stay with the clubs. Some clubs are concerned that some clubs are treated, you know about Animal Farm. There are some clubs, all are supposed to be equal, but others are more equal than others. Do you have a feeling like that at PSV Wellingara?
Not actually, because I'm a team president, and I know I have personal relations with Kabba as well, and I've been in football for some time. I have coaches, I have an administration. I have seen people complaining that, but like I said, somebody can be.
You would not know, because you said we are close to Kabba. So your club will not know.
Not on football.
Oh, okay.
That this is personal.
Okay, that's normal.
Exactly.
Even myself, I'm close to.
Exactly. Yeah. So what I am trying to say is, somebody can be a critic and then can feel that he is not treated rightly, and then he will talk about that. Yeah. But probably that did not happen to me as team president. It did not happen to my team, because I've never had a member of my team complaining that to say we are not treated fairly on this particular issue.
They are lagging behind in terms of their promise to professionalize the league. They're lagging behind. They promised it earlier. They're still committed to it, though. Well, do you believe that?
No, I think let me just come there.
Well, I'm calling.
No, what I wanted to say about that, even that had happened because that was a promise.
Yeah.
But you will also understand.
So the dating doesn't expire.
Yeah, exactly.
2024. That has been the time.
Exactly.
That has been
it's still on course. I'm very much so they are very much particular about it because even during the luncheon, this thing is part of the manifesto.
Yes.
That they are going to implement it. As far as I know, as a team president, I know Gambian League will go into professional league very soon under Team Kabba.
Yes, but you are dying to come.
We just cancellation of matches. What happens when there are scarcity of fields, grounds, and mainly the stadium bowl has been used for most of the games, and I think most of the scheduled games happens there during night matches or so. You know how the country has been going with electricity, but kudos to NAWEC management. We've been the federation has right to the management, and the management has acknowledged it. It's only when situation goes back with NAWEC, but privileges are always been given.
Night matches have proven to be very successful and popular.
It has been.
I thought it was just an experiment.
Even yesterday, under that rain, people want to see beautiful football, and we all agree that under that.
Why is night matches suddenly become really magic? Become more successful, more popular than matches in the day.
Yeah, because
I thought it was a Ramadan experiment.
Basically, Gambia
allows everybody.
Gambia is free. Is free.
That's one. And then people have
more time, and because Gambians there is not much environmental hesitations people to be around, and most of this young generation are not fond of going to clubs of life. So people are much attached to football, and I think this is something when the parks are ready, the federation will be encouraged to go with it, because most of our young people are attached to these European clubs. And these games are always played during the days in fact. So if you want to popularize the game, like in some part of Dakar or Senegal, Nawetan games are played at night. They are very much popular and available. So if we can, if our parks are ready with float by next season, I think most games would be pushed to play at night, where you will get the expected expectations. People will be following the games. Look at Brikama yesterday, though it was a daily game. For the first time, official football was returned to Brikama. The field was full to capacity. It was jam-packed, and it was both teams played very well. That's Greater Tomorrow and there was a second division match.
Good grounds motivate.
Exactly. Imagine if Brikama United is supposed to play their game there, which I think will be next this coming fiction or so. So that would be a very much interesting thing. I think our rescheduling of games very soon will do away with it. And remember, we had Mojan. He's the manager of the competition department. His director is Pasule. You know Pasule, he has been in football from grassroots to all levels, especially in management. So I think this is something they've been working very hard on.
So the problem with these crowded fixtures and reschedule rescheduling of matches due to ground.
Of course, because they were using only 3 grounds for first division. That's stadium, goal project, and Basuri. All of a sudden, one reason or the other, Basuri wasn't being used for this during some part of the second round. So, which means it's only the stadium and the goal project. For the first time, we've seen 3 matches at the stadium of recently. It was never been allowed due to the ground, the nature of the ground. But it has to be, because we are the federation is also against time to see that the league has to be completed. This is the first time we're playing up to August, going almost to August. Almost all leagues has gone. But this is that's something, as we said earlier on, has gone beyond man's control. So
beyond Team Kabba's control.
Again, the good part of it. The good part of it is they accepted it, and that's human nature. So as I said earlier, this was an over excitement and over ambitious. So that lead to us. But again, we still get our portion to fill up the thing. Brikama, Banjul, and East will be handed over by the end of this month. They will be playing their Nawetans as usual. Other grounds, Manjai. So Nawetan is coming back fully to the zones. Then the Manjai, Busumbala, and Gunjur and the others immediately after the Nawetans job will definitely.
Yeah, and added to that, I think with the grounds, the doubting Thomases have been shamed, because people
have not been they had a point.
I understand. No, I'm coming to a point, because they said
it will never happen.
It will never happen. It will never happen this year.
Okay.
So, but it has happened.
Okay.
At least, if you're talking about 100%, at least 70 or 60% has been achieved. Coming around Greater Banjul, because you're talking about Manjai, Serekunda West, Serekunda East, Brikama and Banjul. So the 3 would be handed over. So it means
which 3 will be? Brikama is almost.
Brikama is done. They played there yesterday.
And which
Banjul next week.
Yeah.
And then the following week you're talking about Serekunda East. You can go there and see. You know, my problem is maybe it's a challenge to you also because you challenge me on this board thing.
Yeah.
You go and do a visit
I've been
Serekunda East.
Well,
yesterday I was there. I've
never been to East,
but it was magnificent.
But I was at West.
At Serekunda East. I was surprised yesterday when I saw the dressing rooms
transformed.
It transformed totally.
So the project might have been delayed. But
actually it has come. But we know all the problems or the challenges that were done. But as I always say, it's a learning point. And when you learn from here, it means you are a better person in the coming, in the coming year or going forward. Okay. Because Team Kabba has learned a lot on these projects, as he said, and now the projects are going to be handled one after the other, and that would be the best point. Because I always say, if a problem happens and you haven't learned from that problem, you are moving forward, then you are a fool. Thank you.
Another thing, Cham, we want continuity and stability for one main thing. Is Gambian has been yearning for why are we not represented in CAF?
Yeah, in bodies, in FIFA, international football bodies. Yeah.
But there is no continuity. It's only I told you some years back, how many federations have we changed? When people always normalization.
Whose fault is that?
It's the stakeholders.
But with this stability now, we've seen results. I don't want to break the news or whatever, but it's a matter of fact. Kabba is yearning for the presidency of WAFO, which we have been a second vice for but for this time round, the presidency is coming home by the grace of
Zone A.
Yeah, so by Zone A, by the grace of God. So that's a starting point. You could recall some time back during the last CAF elections, Kabba yearned for a position. So that was an internal.
We had the WAFO secretariat for 6 years. It didn't do it any better than
exactly. But this time around we yearning for the presidency. And we lose the secretariat. We lose the secretariat.
By virtue of
look at that.
So we expecting becoming a president. That would be a good move for us and a good improvement in the system. So from there, next 4 years,
what the GFF didn't do in terms of strengthening, because they are the host association of the federation of the secretariat. We didn't see much involvement.
Yeah, because of this political.
As he said, we're talking about the stakeholders and the stability normalization. Because
so even there was instability. That's why
exactly.
I challenged the GFF over this. I said, you are the host federation of the WAFO secretariat. So if it failed in the Gambia, it's your failure. I mean, they didn't show much interest.
That's why we are telling you about this stakeholder.
Why? So they are trying to avoid each other.
Yeah, that's the thing. And him being the president and it's back, you have full control now.
Okay.
Of the secretary.
But the secretary is gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
And no, the secretary, the personnel is in Kebba, but the secretariat is out in Dakar.
The secretary general is in Praia and the secretary is in Dakar. That's more or less Dakar. More or less a Senegalese.
Of course, Senegal, due to the look at Senegal was here since how many years? Where I see today.
Okay.
They had a bitter election than us. If you follow Senegalese football, last elections.
Yes.
But they all agreed on one thing, and they
continuity.
And they achieved
that Senghor has climbed the ladder and
exactly.
What gave them the coordination?
Look at yesterday. They shoot the podium.
Yeah.
At the gala.
It's all about continuity, not about normalization. Every time these people are not doing this, let's move them out.
We lose credible personnel. Who could have manned those positions out there?
So
simply
we
because
change them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unnecessary changes.
Okay. All right.
Let's give time. That's the last 4 years he's yearning for.
But must we just sit down and say, oh, because we want our people to continue to so
no, it goes with challenges. It goes with challenges.
But Lamin,
of course,
change them.
The achievements are on the table for everybody. It's clear, it's crystal clear, because the coordination, how many years we're yearning for? You know, sometimes people,
almost 75 years.
People tend to shroud the truth. When you want something, you shroud the truth. How many years? That is just one that could have covered Kabba. And that's a legacy he will live forever and ever.
Most people said you, the stakeholders, are the problem. I mean, they said, you know, because you are the people who vote.
Yes.
Now, people make their engagements, when they look at the social media, they look at reaction of people, they tend to believe that, the campaign for Kabba is really very popular in public opinion. But it's the stakeholders are the problem. They don't see that they're going to vote Kabba.
I always say
now,
this.
Your stakeholders, it's left now your chance to tell the people. That's what we are trying to do here. Tangibly, why do you think Kabba deserves a second term? And
That's what we've been hearing. That's what we've been talking of.
Yeah.
That's what we've been talking of constantly. The problem here
So people
is,
just shout.
you see those stakeholders, we haven't heard them speaking.
Well,
we are
beginning to
I'm talking of
the critics.
The critics.
Yeah.
You who feels it knows it.
Yes.
Yeah. Who lives within the trend know how deep it is.
Yes.
Yeah. So these are we haven't had the stakeholders coming up because they know what is happening. They know how they run their clubs. They know how it has been going.
So they're just keeping quiet. When election day come, bam! Everybody's happy.
Again, we this is a nation.
People said if football failed, the stakeholders are the ones to blame.
Yeah, but if stakeholders are moving, they believe. Look at, he's a club president.
Okay.
He has spoken well.
Yeah.
And I think from there people could have notified.
Yeah, and
so there are hinges. Yes, there were hinges.
Yeah, mostly.
That's natural. Even the best administration in this world has his own hinges.
Okay,
but let's evaluate things.
Okay,
and come with.
Let's talk about the personalities. So far, we have only Kabba and his pottery, because people insiders believe that in fact Kabba was Kabba's boy. Kabba really had a lot of respect and liking for him. What could have gone wrong? To result in the splits in the executive, in the ranks of the executive.
No, I think Kabba could have been at the best position or Kamaso to answer.
No, I mean from your inside observation.
That's personal. I have respect for
Not
both.
Personal. They're now speaking.
Kabba was asked in front of me.
Kamaso is public.
He said from his word, he said he couldn't remember anything going in between.
So it's just
his own words.
Kamaso has said
so
the same.
Whatever.
Kamaso said the same. He said, look, this is not personal.
Yeah.
It's just that I think I have better ideas than the ideas we both used to subscribe.
He always said that. He said that in front of me.
And
I respect him for that. And again, with our campaign trend, we don't want to take things personal. We don't want to go personally because we believe we are all stakeholders. We are all in football.
So
as I said earlier,
for the issues.
Yes, I believe we are all brothers.
Absolutely.
We need to respect each other, and which has been manipulated.
Okay.
Though we had allegations that were never been truth.
Even Kamaso himself is very careful in handling in his reactions to allegations of corruption.
Yeah, because
I remember he said, look, not all what has been said can be proven to be allegations. Although most people think because he was very much part of everything, so he wouldn't come out.
The reality is he has been an insider.
Yes.
It has been insider. There's a saying in Mandinka. Jiola kulomia ning tinting konkore olong kanale osab. So this is something we don't want to go into because we've been very much careful.
Not to
our election
personalize
will surely gone, and we're still gonna be the same.
Okay, I want to go into the business of what to do some prognosis. You belong to the clubs, okay? Second division, yes. I want you to tell me how is the feeling among how popular is both camps in the second division?
As far as I know, I think Team Kabba is more popular in the second division than Team Kamaso. As far as I know.
Because you support Kabba.
And not actually, because
how do you come to that? In second division, there are 16, is it? Yeah, 14,
18 teams.
18 now,
18
yeah.
Teams.
18 teams, you are just one.
Remember.
How do you think Kabba is more popular?
Remember in football.
And they have one vote, isn't it?
Yeah. One vote.
Okay,
remember in football, probably team president, not all of us.
You are also a politician. I want you to use your political experience.
not all of us as team presidents.
Yes.
But you will understand that team coaches and then team players are both, they get to each other
and talk
a lot of time and they talk.
Yeah.
And if you ask me my own assessment of what is happening at the second division, I know Kabba is more popular in that area than Team Kamaso. Because looking at it, from 8 years, Kabba have been doing a lot of good things in football. And second division teams have been benefiting from Kabba's, generosity and under his led administration. So I believe he's more popular in that area than Kamaso of recent. And basically you can talk about the two teams, even though we have, personally I also have respect for both of them. But if you look at the composition of both teams, personally you ask me, I will tell you, I feel you have competence more in Team Kabba than Team Kamaso.
Why do you
look
say
at the
that?
setup here? Because one, we talk about the experience in football management. You look at the team around Kabba, most of them have been in football administration for quite a long time at that level. But also at the other level, in fact they have been in football, but not at the level where Kabba and teams are. So it's going to be a bit challenging for...
When Kabba and others were coming, a lot of them have no experience.
No,
so there's no crime coming up. When you came in 2017, you have no experience.
When you talk about continuity and stability, I mean, we're talking about experience in that area. So we want to be able to continue and then stabilize the football and then hand it over.
New ones will spoil the show. Is that what you're saying?
No, obviously, in football, reporting with new faces, we're going to be beginners again. We've been beginners.
That's a good point.
We're going to be beginners there.
Yeah, we go.
And among the big men, among the big boys in football, you know how it goes.
You know how they go. They recognize each other and do
through continuity, through longevity. I told you, Senghor should have been a sample for everybody here. Where is he today? Sitting. He started with an executive. Well, he started with a president with us here, who has been out of football for quite a time now. You imagine when he was there still, where he would have ended up in CAF. So come on, we get a ladder now to hold on to.
I'm going back to the clubs. What about your neighbors, the first division league? What is the mood like there?
Well, actually, I don't know all of them. I mean, the few that I know, that I talk to, I know some of them who are also Team Kabba that I know, but not all of them.
So you virtually give Kabba the majority among the second division.
The issue is,
and you think it's the first division.
I'm looking at my interest and the interest of my club as well.
That's clearly manifested.
Yes, because I know you are in the coaches. You are also very familiar with the coaches, the coaching association, etc. Even though you are in the campaign of Kabba, how popular is Kabba among the coaches?
I still come back to
He's the
number
one favorite.
I still come back to my point. If these stakeholders weren't happy with the system, the noise couldn't have been here now.
I get your point. You said
so.
Remember, all the noise is coming from people who are not stakeholders.
Exactly. Remember, there is a clause in the constitution.
That's a valid point.
That said, you can kick out any executive body when the Congress is not happy with. There could have extraordinary Congress.
Much easier said than done. Much easier said than done. Every constitution have that. How can we?
Then if the stakeholders are not happy with the system,
of course,
definitely will not come here to do that.
So you are saying all this talking, if it is a reflection of what the stakeholders feel,
exactly,
we wouldn't have arrived here.
Exactly.
That is manifested.
John is very popular with referees. Come on.
Oh yes.
How do you will say that, of course, because
with all that I have enumerated here.
But somebody in the referees was sacked allegedly for or taken from his chairmanship, or was it?
No. The scheduling. Because if you move to another camp, and we cannot work.
He was suspected of supporting Kabba.
Who? No. It was no.
You can't. There was a referee. I mean, who was in there? Was it the referees committee?
Yes, was referees committee
was removed.
Because
because president had the privilege of appointing
people, and
he was suspected.
This one, because a lot of issues have happened. And referees, we are a secret cult. In just using that metaphor, we
are not meant to go out with certain things.
Yes, we are not meant, because it's dangerous to be refereing, because we are adjudicators.
So he violated the ethics, or he was suspected of supporting the opposition?
Yeah, I think maybe if Kabba comes, you can ask him that question. But for referees, it's something we call I'm trying to use a word that would be appropriate, because I don't.
Do you say you are a secret cult? You not say
not a secret cult, but
you have. You have
some kind of ethical, thing that we don't want everything to go out.
Yeah, we don't want everything because of the nature of your job. You're saying what happens is arbitrage.
Exactly, we are arbitrators and we are judges and everything you can name. When I go to coaches, they normally tell me, sometimes referees are suspended and it does not come out public.
Yes.
And by virtue of what you asked me, I'm just trying to clarify.
Yes.
Because what happens is,
why don't you do that? Even judges, if they are
if it goes beyond that, it should go out of our domain. Then we
if you
spit it out.
You cannot internally
something that everybody should know. But like a referee, because we have our assessors who will grade referees and also recommend for. If they need some reprimanding, they will recommend, and we do it internally. If it needs to go externally, then that's the time we publish. For example, a referee should have, given a red card here or a penalty, and he doesn't, and the assessor recommends.
That's your judgment.
And then then he said no, let's leave him for 2 weeks. He will not officiate. If you go and publish that, then Jespa, his team. As a coach will say, yes, you see, it will vindicate that what we claimed for was a penalty. And then that referee, anytime he plays their match, the idea will look at that referee. Psychology will be there. So those are the small things. But if it goes like a referee trying to take bribe, or these are things we cannot condone, and we spit it out. So a referee, like we knew what happened some 3-4 years ago, when our referee was involved in that scandalous,
Yes, in fact, that brings to the mind of the case of Kebba Jespa. I mean, when the Algerians started the mind game and bringing all sort of accusations, alleging that he cost them the World Cup spot against Cameroon. I mean, people believe, Jespa, that the GFF were very late in coming to his aid. I mean, it was Kamaso who first, started backing him, and then the GFF followed. People believe that the GFF were sleeping.
Thank you.
Why?
I love that question, and I have been saying it. At least today, I've got the chance to, say it loudly. Accusations are accusations until they are proven to be true or false. True or false. Because what happens is with the Papa case, it was not official. People were it's just like we have social media talking about things. Somebody said, but when the coach, as the official coach of the Algerian, got involved, that's the time the GFF
said, well, this was now getting too much.
They have hit the camel's back, and there was proof that they have alleged, and the GFF took the right bold decision. Kabba wrote a 2-page. So you mean
they as a responsible association, they
and that stopped because now they're waiting for CAF and FIFA to sanction them. And Kabba said it everywhere. It's open secret that when he wrote the letter, the guy has to call him because he wrote it with
of course
substance. That this, because now we have the substantial evidence that this guy has come, because the coach now has. Have you since GFF wrote
did that? You haven't had any other comment,
and that's a responsible management.
So you mean Kamaso's coming out first was just playing to the gallery?
Yeah, you could use that.
No,
it's not from me.
More concerned.
But I'm telling you something that in management you must be a very prudential. You
have to wait
somebody
until the right time.
And wait until the right time.
You must act on
because
substance.
if we have jumped the gun and go out there and put something, then we would have been put to the gallery, because now we could be ridiculed and say, where are the evidence? And then what that would cost. And that's why you wait for the right
time. So Kamaso can afford to speculate and other things, but Kabba cannot.
But Kabba knows how to do it, because this is why I said Kabba's is somebody that I always look at, and by not from looking at football, but this is a man who is a diplomat par excellence. In terms of management, all those who worked with him,
he was both a diplomat and foreign minister.
All those who worked with him, that's why we think Gambian football, just that moves me to the next step in refereeing development. For the first time, I haven't said that referees assessor, we have never got a course for because I've been in refereeing this year for almost how many years now?
You should know that from your fingertip.
Yeah, 94. I'm just trying my mathematics.
Oh, you forgot the famous 94?
Yeah.
You forgot when the came to Bath. How many years ago?
It's almost
28 years now.
28 years in refereeing.
He would have been celebrating.
Yeah.
Was it July 22nd or July?
No. I came in January.
Only January.
Much earlier than January. So, looking at it, 28 years in refereeing, though a young man, but I've learned a lot. I've gone through the ladder
Okay.
Last time I was just giving somebody my CV and he said, John, but why? I said yes, because I've never been asked. And you know, Gambians, we are very humble.
Absolutely.
We just don't want to blow our own trumpet. But these are things. When I sent Bakari my CV, he said, "John, you passed through." I've gone to several courses. I've officiated, you know, FIFA, CAF qualifiers. I've never gone to COF Nation, but I've gone to under 17. I've gone to All Africa Games. And all those I've referred to the top level. It was because by virtue of my going for studies to enrich my you know academic qualification. I left for a gap of 3 years and came back, and then within the system I couldn't, then I left. Then when Team Kabba came, they put me in, and from then there's a lot of achievement.
Fantastic. John Frank Mendy, he is the head of the Gambia Referees Association, an integral member, a member of the Gambia Football Federation with 3 votes. The others are players, coaches, women.
Yes.
5 of them. They have each 15. So there's each 3 team combination. Combined 15 votes are there. How popular is Kabba among the allied associations?
Very popular. If you look at the things, you know. We will just run around the circles, the same thing. You know.
You think the women are happy with him?
Of course.
The players.
The women players.
The women footballers.
Unprecedented since
Really?
Kabba came.
Okay.
Kabba is the.
So 15 there.
Kabba is the gem for women football, because that was one of the pillars.
When I can say
the
that
manifesto in 2014.
He made it a personal ambition. To develop female football. Yes,
look
I
at
agree.
during his time.
I agree.
How many female first division?
Yes.
How many female second division teams?
Yeah.
Now we are talking about female regional third division
and female football professionals now.
Professionals now
in Nigeria,
in
Germany.
Achievements that
France
are
or Germany recently.
They are on the table.
Okay.
So if you're blind, you don't want to see them. That's it. But
you
as Jespa is saying, it's politics. Everybody will say what suits you.
Okay.
But the realities are there, and the stakeholders, as I said, they're just waiting.
I'll give him the last word.
By the 27th, you will maybe after the elections, you call us back again. You thank me.
Your prognosis. I mean, he said that as far as the allied association are concerned, Kabba is popular there. 15 votes are there. 18 is in the second division. He believes majority will go to Kabba. But the regions are there. 4 times 7, 21, 28 votes are in the regions. You in the campaign. Is Kabba very popular in the regions?
I think the regions will conquer the day.
Is he very popular in the regions?
Of course.
Which ones particularly?
Across the country.
Oh, in Kerr?
Across the country.
In West Coast?
Across the country, I said.
Well,
how sure are you? Talking of 28 votes.
28 votes in the region.
In those regions.
Is he very popular in Basse?
Of course, yes.
In Mansakongo?
Mansakongo, you won't talk about it.
For
the first time you get Mansakongo is getting 4 divisional teams, 3 to 4 divisional.
Of course, yes. Additionally, from the regions, you also have the clubs.
Yes.
So that is where is the political
West Coast?
Abdoulie Ceesay and others have a language. Our fixed deposit. Where's
capacity? Regions are our fixed deposit.
There you go. Kebba Jespa Touray is a member of the Team Kabba campaign team. Honorable Abdoulie Ceesay, the honorable member for All Yundum, am I right? Yes. He's here in his capacity as president of second division team PSV Wellingara. And you have John Frank Mendy, the head of the Referees Association. They've been here as we begin our countdown to the August 27 national football elections. We will catch up with the Kamaso team next week, perhaps, preferably. Join us then. Until then, love and charm, wishing you have a great weekend. Gentlemen,
thank you.
Kendall, how do you solar lampol make it slow? Kenda Manila for solar enterprise.
For the Mumble and Yambanko can get them to it.
Sumanu baro unjurunko ikonga faleko namu badabanda ila vla sola la enie Gambia bino Gambia la sola enter na sola enterprise sola ni battery kendo courant o de dasala aboro sinde namo kaji sena odila Gambia sola center na sola enter na sola enterprise jaliwo sola kende soto yeah jali man fofena o sola kende soto na enterprise sumanu baro kunjurungo
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
Assalamualaikum nan lañ rek waaw togge gi ñor na te waaw hankay luñ wax cin bu naré neex bu baxé xet gi jolli xet gaa ngi jolli all over town lawa home again. This is home away from home. Lepp lo xamne rek da ngeen ñew holidays namon ko Gambia fi manan lañ rek bismillah hankay excellent mo ngi ni weddi gis ayu ciare ñu ngi nii nag nekkal lañ fii ci diggi Manjai ñu ngi on the Manjai Kotu highway ci boori lan Atlas bi waaw ci right next to the Atlas duma sax introduce bagage yi parce que bagage yi moom am sone waaw kër Fatou def na ba baax dina lañ ko bennaal ngeen gis ko yëpp naan lañ nag anything loo lañ na ma rek boo dee gisu lañ ko fii ni ngeen di def rek mooy ni ngeen ko taamoo defee rek reng ma ne la aha ngeen ma loo bëgga waaw doo lañ bëgga rek ñu indil lañ ko muy Kirkland water muy Moss apple juice muy apple eve lu mu di nekk rek kañ so Charles mën nañoo doxantoo nii tuuti rek moom ma jéema woon gars yi rek liñ leen fi amal pine sola ngoog coffee mate ngoog waaw citronella candles. But then you like being outdoors, stroke activity, they enjoy the outdoors. Indil nañ leen different versions of citronella candles. ñoo ngi nii neexet nag ba bëgg a dee waaw bu dee sonn ngeen ci muntaay ga laa wax de axankañ ñoo ngi nii Domino sugar. Different kinds of coffee. My favorite in the entire store is this sardine. Sardine bi dang ko lekk te doo xeeñ sardine. I've had two already and enough bala maa jeexal bitik bi waaw bi mooy sama fave in the whole store. Seasonings lépp loo lañ soxloon ci seasonings indil nañ leen ko muy lemon pepper bi, black pepper, the Caribbean jerk seasoning. So bëggee def sa jerk seasoning muy jerk chicken, muy jerk lamb, this is the one and only seasoning bi nga xam ne rek moom ngeen soxla for that jerk. Different types of oil. This is my new oil now. Avocado oil. Avocado oil lu moo def cholesterol ñaari façon la LDL am na HDL am na so avocado oil li moo def mooy dafa yokk cholesterol bu baax bi bu ko defee mu wàññi cholesterol bu bon bi waaw I'm a health fanatic axan kay lépp lu ma lekk rek dama ko bëgg di bàyyi xel si secondaire yi nag na ngeen fexe nag bi bu lañ ma simi xam naa di ngeen ne fi mu nekk nii nag mu ngi ci li ko gën a neex loolu mooy lan mooy jaay affaire yi lekk bi Neosporin dafa nekk over the counter garab boo xam ne famille bu nekk war nañ ko mën a am ci seen kër xale yi buñ daanoo buruusu tuuti rek gaañu koo nga am koo xam ne dafa diabetic nekk sa kër this is a must have danga ko cee def rek mu daal di rek wér king waaw Neosporin a ngoog lépp loo xam ne rek most of the things I use at home I try to bring for you guys in town waaw tiki ngoog tiki torch you know bii mun nga koo def rek ci sa balcony yi mbaa ci lawn bi dafa daaxa yooyu waaw mun tay ga tubaab moo nekk nii then tiki refill la bee nekk nii yii nii citronella oils lañ yii those are different versions of tiki nga xam ne yooyu mun nga koo def rek at the deck the balcony outdoors you wanna chill out ahankañ yooyu noonu la cereals yi nii tamit these are all healthy cereals bi is my favorite organic la moom tamit xam naa diggante binta dimbale ñoo organic waa cereal boo xam ne la dafa am pumpkin seeds ak flax seeds ak granola moo ngi nii am nañ different versions we have that one and we have that one as well apple juice xale yaa ngi fi wala juice xale yi laa mun a wax bi apple eve it reminds me of back in the days mooy bi suma xale yi gënee nekk ndaw you know I used to love these juices emuñ rek si Capri Sun emuñ rek si Kool-Aid but dañ leen indil apple eve ba pare nag indil lañ tamit honest for organic kids waaw so noonu la bu dee nag yaa ngi am sa office and nga bugg rek covid affaire baa ngi nii hand sanitizer in a super duper size ahankay moo ngi nii de xam ngeen ne nag lu ma def rek duma ko cof dama ko def ba mot moo ngi nii hand sanitizer baa ngi nii a big size maalo yaa ngi nii si secondaire yi ana ngeen excellent different types of rice are all here so we just setting up ñu ngi just set up ñu ngi yokk more stuff as a matter of fact suñ new shipment baa ngi war a exit tey boobu dina war a am adult diapers you know the dispense ak yeneen so ñu ngi right here on Manjai Highway sori wuñ ak Atlas bi used to be Elton léegi Atlas la ñu ngi jàkkaarloo ak Dr. Slab waaw so I think those are very good landmarks so place bi naxariwta am naxariwta xam at all and most importantly di nga am space pour park so ñëwee all you gotta do is park nice and neat outside loo jënd ñu dukki indil la ko ba ci sa biir moto